see.
As soon as you said I could shoot, I shot. I couldn't wait.
That's a nice buck.
I know.
That's about one of the biggest 8 points I've ever seen.
Outdoor option. My daddy taught way of life I passed down to my kids. Showed me how to shoot and hunt and fish and how to live. Said I was born for the great outdoors, but the choice is up to you. Man, I always choose the outdoor option. It's outdoor option. Outdoor option. It's outdoor option.
This is us. This is what we're all about.
Outdoor option. That's the life I choose. Outdoor option.
The Outdoor Option is brought to you by Covert Scouting Cameras, Suzuki, the Remington Outdoor Company, Ignite the Hunt, Deer Supplements and Attractants, Skag Power Equipment, Orca Coolers, Justin Original Work Boots, Sheffield Financial, Rhino Blinds, and 10-Point Crossbow Technologies.
This week on the Outdoor Option, we're here in Tennessee, my favorite state.
A good friend of ours, Byron Ferguson, and his buddy Mike Goodman have been bugging us for years to come down there and hunt with them down in Tennessee, and this year we finally pulled it off.
Here at Goodman Ranch. Gonna do some deer hunting. Always exciting. We made it. I guess I got nobody to celebrate with. They're all too busy. There you go.
How you doing? One of the cool things about this trip is while we were down there, so was Byron Ferguson. Legendary trick shot artist. He's a good friend of the Goodman Ranch.
Hold it still.
See you tonight. I'm headed over to my lease to see if I can find an unlucky deer.
Okay. And I bet you do.
Good luck to you.
Good luck, Byron.
Got to spend some great quality time with him, and the stories are never ending. If we'd had 4 or 5 days, there would have been stories all day long.
It's always, to me, a blessing when I see people that are now grown-ups that I met when they were just youngsters and see them taking up the sport of archery and hunting, and in particular, archery hunting. It's just, I feel like that when I pass, which, you know, hopefully it's gonna be a lot of years away, but when that happens, a little bit of me will live on through them.
Well, let's get unloaded, huh? What do you think?
That's good. So we can get on the stand.
Yeah, let's get going.
Well, come on in. I'll show you around right quick so you feel at home. Isn't that something? Holy cow.
We thought we had a lot of horns.
I'm just checking out the big screen TV.
Oh, yeah. And the lodge was just really just as pretty as any lodge we've ever been in.
After we got introduced to everybody and got a quick tour of the place, I was ready to put on my camo, grab my 10-point crossbow, and get out in the blind.
Okay. All right, let's get one. Let's go. Let's go.
It was really just turn and burn. We got there that morning, unloaded everything, got dressed, and within an hour we were in the woods.
This year, I've had many opportunities to hunt big game animals, and Tennessee was no different. Stay connected with the Outdoor Option team. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you and see your pictures.
Closed captioning of the outdoor option is provided by the Remington Outdoor Company. This segment of the outdoor option is brought to you by 10-Point Crossbow Technologies.
This year, I've had many opportunities to hunt big game animals, and Tennessee was no different. I'm starting to think my dad is my lucky charm. Here we are on another hunt, this time in Tennessee, and the deer start pouring in within 20 minutes.
It didn't take long. I think it was less than 30 minutes, and we started seeing deer, and we didn't even have all the cameras set up.
So this must be Shannon's lucky season or something, because it seems like every time we've gone out hunting this year, she's the first one to score. And this trip down to Tennessee wasn't any different.
Got a good look at it, but then it walked around the left side of the pond on the far side, chased a buck away.
When my buck finally came in, and I knew we were set up in a perfect position.
We have to just let him come. Is he open to you?
I've always been one to love an adrenaline rush, and this moment was definitely a big rush.
Crossbows are set. The first crosshair is at 20 yards, and the second one is right under 30 yards. And so this deer, I ranged it, and it was like 27 yards. So I was explaining to her to use the top crosshair and just hold it a little bit high.
I'm so shaken. Okay. I couldn't wait any longer. My teeth were chattering. As soon as you said I could shoot, I shot. I couldn't wait any longer. I know, he was big.
One of the biggest 8 points I've ever seen.
You said not to look at his antlers, but all I could see was his antlers at first.
Wow. These oak trees are unbelievable. Acorns are everywhere. And these bugs are falling all over the place after these acorns. Wow. What a nice buck.
I know. Finally.
The Outdoor Option is brought to you by these fine sponsors. This segment of the Outdoor Option is brought to you by Ignite the Hunt, deer supplements and attractants.
Well, it's day one here, evening one. We just got in here about 2 or 3 hours ago, and we just gotta scramble to get into the stand tonight. So got a little bit of a bonus evening here. We're set up over this ridge that has a couple of big hollers and draws coming up to it. So they've been seeing a couple nice bucks here every evening, and a lot of acorns falling. So the deer are definitely hanging in the woods a lot. So that's why we kind of moved in here on them instead of staying out in the meadows. So we'll see if we can introduce a big buck to the 10-point shadow ultralight tonight, and see if we can get one down on day one.
So here I am sitting around watching deer, getting excited over a small buck, and meanwhile Shannon's over there shooting a big buck within the first half hour of the hunt.
Well, we always joke with everybody that, we have Shannon, on the show and going on our hunts with us because of her good looks. And let me tell you, she's got a deep core that wants to do things the right way. And when she's ready to go hunting, she's ready to go hunting. And she dedicates the time, and she sits really still, she pays attention, she's got great eyesight, and she spots movement most of the time before I even have a chance to see.
I'm so excited. Let's go find my buck.
She doesn't get too many opportunities in the broad daylight to be able to trail a deer, because usually it's right at dusk. There's some right there.
Yeah, right there. Look at all this over here.
He's bleeding good. I was able to take the time to be able to show her, intimately exactly what to look for when she's trailing a deer. She's got the eyes. Right there's yeah.
One of the cool things about having your dad out hunting with you is he gets to teach you everything that he was taught by his dad.
You're finding blood, but we gotta be patient and just take our time. It's important to go slow because he could be around a corner here. If he's still alive or something, we'll have to back out. But it's important just to keep staying on the blood. It's really a temptation for a lot of people who want to say, well, just go look for him. Let's stay on the blood until we find where he's went to, okay? So let's go. Perfect, just keep looking for your blood. Right there, stay right here until you find the next blood. Okay?
Oh, you just stepped on the tire up here.
Right there. Right there. Oh, stop. Step, back up. You're wrong. I just saw him staying up there in front of us. We're gonna back out of here. We're gonna give him some more time.
As we were trailing the deer, my dad saw it jump and we had to back off.
Because he just was bedded down, just got up and started walking away. So we're gonna let him go and give him a little bit more time. All right, you understand what I'm saying? So, okay. Hear him walking.
One saying that we've always lived by when it comes to tracking deer is, when in doubt, back out. And that's exactly what Shannon and my dad are doing here. My dad saw that buck, knew that he was wounded really bad, but the best thing to do is leave him be and let him sit overnight.
The next day, I was so anxious to go see my buck, and when we finally found it, it was a moment I'll never forget.
Wow, my first Tennessee buck.
Absolutely beautiful deer, huh?
Yeah.
And that goes to show, we backed out of there last night, and And if we wouldn't have backed out of there and kept pushing him, he wouldn't have went another mile. But it's always the best thing to do is to wait, especially on a cold night, just to wait and come back the next morning. And we found him within 20 yards of where we left him last night, huh?
Yeah, I'm happy I got to be with you too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I said this when you were out cutting. There's no place I'd rather be than with you.
Yeah.
No other place I'd rather be right now than with you getting your 9-point. That's really the biggest buck you've gotten so far, 9-point with a bow.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
With my 10-point.
To see the excitement and the accomplishment of putting the time in, have one of your kids be able to shoot a buck or a bear or an elk or any kind of animal that's an accomplishment, in the field when they put the time in. It's really exciting to see the excitement that they get there. They can't get that in school. They can't get that a lot of times, at work or different activities, but this is unique. It's when you see the excitement and all the hard work is paid off. There's nothing better than that for me, and that's what I live for, is the excitement that I see in my kids' face when they accomplish something like that.
The Outdoor Option is brought to you by these fine sponsors. This segment of the Outdoor Option is brought to you by Covert Scouting Cameras, the official trail camera of the Outdoor Option.
One of the cool things about this trip is while we were down there, so was Byron Ferguson. Legendary trick shot artist. He's a good friend of the Goodman Ranch, so we got to spend a lot of quality time with him.
I shoot the longbow because it's the most forgiving style of bow you can shoot. What that means is the longbow will allow me to make a mistake and still put the arrow in the target. Us old-timers all like the more traditional style of bow. Like I explained earlier, they're more forgiving. They allow us to make mistakes and still put the arrow in the target. With the more modern equipment, I tried for 8 years to take a white-tailed deer with a compound bow and missed every one I ever shot at. All over the world, everybody's just, we're all people. When I was younger, I would think Germans are bad, or Russians are bad, or whatever. They're just us. They're the same people. We have the same passions for the outdoors. They just live in a different country. That's the only difference. I think definitely Danny and Shannon are ambassadors for the outdoors for the younger generation. Let's face it, us old guys, we've done about all we're going to do. It's up to them to do the rest. Byron Ferguson is the luckiest man in the world. I get to do for a living what everybody else does for fun. I'm Byron Ferguson, and you're watching The Outdoor Option.
Set up here on evening number 2. We switched it up a little bit. We moved out to the edge of the woods. We're overlooking a couple of big meadows, big bottom pastures, and back in the ground blind tonight. So we're up here, kind of up on the edge, up on the hill from these green meadows, in the middle of a bunch of white oak trees where a bunch of acorns are falling. So it's cooling back down. I'll put my sweatshirt on here in a minute, but should be a good evening. Wind's in our favor, and hopefully a bunch of deer come through here so we can get a shot.
So of course, we ended up seeing a ton of deer, and I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna work out great, but unfortunately, it was all does.
At the Goodman Ranch, a majority of the property is made up of solid oak trees, oak tree flats. And the deer, with the amount of acorns that were around this year, the deer were just feeding all day long and all night long in the acorns. We spent a lot of time you know, in the mornings, in the midday, in the afternoons, trying to get after the deer. But with that warm front that came through, the deer just stopped moving. A lot of times I don't get a chance to hunt until Danny or Shannon, you know, score, and which is just fine by me, because like I said, I'm really excited about, you know, seeing on their face when they score.
Here at the Outdoor Option, we always work together as a team. And whether one of us gets a buck or all three of us get a buck, it's still a successful trip. And for Shannon to get in the game early and get a big buck down on the ground, it made the trip all worthwhile.
Whether one of us gets one or all of us get one, it doesn't really matter to us, because we're just as happy to be a part of it and being excited for the person who did get one. In this particular case, you know, in Shannon's case, we were just as excited as if we got one ourselves, but we were just as much excited for her that she was so happy and got such a nice buck.
This is only the second time I've used my pink crossbow, but once again it got the job done.
Well, we've had a great time down here in Tennessee. Make sure you join us next week right here on the Outdoor Option for more exciting action.
That is the biggest buck I've ever shot in my life.